Hey everybody, welcome back to Northernlion, place of Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus. I hate head trauma. I know we're gonna have to do it at some point anyway, but you know, let's put a positive spin on it. F7, 1N, XN, FJ. Not that you need it for this challenge, but you know, Darkness Falls, it does go all the way to Satan, but I'm not sure if you've noticed, this challenge is actually like probably very, very easy. I don't remember most of them, and that's becoming, why would you ever do that? That's becoming increasingly clear, but any challenge where you start with Sack Dagger, you know, you got a long way to go to ruin that one, is my hope anyway. What the? Okay. This is your time to shine, dead bird. This was just our way of tactically putting ourselves on Whore of Babylon status. We should be totally fine here. I did, you know, I left the last run in a negative state. I was upset with the fact that I had died, and I think deservedly, you know, I deserved to die on that run because I played terribly. This run, we're going to do a little bit better. We're going to try to do a little bit better, and, I mean, it should be good. Rebuild that confidence a little bit. Take me down to the paradise city where the grass is green and the girls are pretty. Oh, won't you please take me home? No item rooms, which is actually completely fair. I'm gonna level with you. Like, this is a run where I'm basically looking at practicing my orbital skills. Mostly because, you know, there's probably a good reason to shoot. Namely, like, you know, it's extra damage, but I got two arguments against that, okay? One argument is that there is a little bit of knockback, so shooting enemies is going to push them out of our orbital range, and our orbital does so much more DPS than our actual shots that it seems like maybe that's not worth it. Yeah. The second thing I'm going to say is we all make choices in our lives. You know, sometimes there's optimal things to do that are maybe just not something we want to... I think that all the time. Like, I have, I get backseated a lot, and I think the fact that I get backseated a lot is part of the reason I'm okay with it. You know, if I'd grown up and especially on YouTube and Twitch, made a name for myself being great at video games, I would probably be more sensitive, give me those angel deals, about being backseated. But because of the fact that I've kind of had it reinforced that I'm garbage at them, to some extent, makes me more prone to accept backseating instead of being negative about it. However, there are times I get annoyed because I get backseated about my real life. Like, whenever you talk about what you have for lunch, people are like, don't you know how many grams of triglycerides there are in that? I'm gonna take this just because, really. And let's try this as well. Oh well. And the thing is, we all know, I think we have in our heads some kind of, like, optimum idea about, like, if you wanted to min-max life, what would you do? But we tend to apply that more to other people than we do to ourselves. I think. At least I do. You have to pick and choose what you want to do. Now here, you know, these enemies are exploding in my face, so I don't feel the need to use the orbital on them, and not to mention our damage is actually getting real nice as well. But here's what I'm getting at, okay? Is that where am I trying to go? I feel like, you ever have this happen where, like, deep in your head there's, like, a very crystallized, elegant way to describe something? I've talked about it before, which is not uncommon considering the length of time that this series has been going on for. But, you know, the ultimate argument against any kind of life backseating in Twitch chat is that watching Twitch is, like, the least productive thing you could ever do in your life. I do it all the time now. And you can make the argument, you know, people are always, well, if you enjoy your time, it's not time wasted. That's true, of course. But you're the one telling me you can't put chickpeas in a chili. Don't you worry about, you know, the fact, chili, according to Wikipedia, has to have meat in it. You know, yes, I'm still salty about the chili backseating. But I think, you know, there's a metaphor to be made about Isaac here. There's probably a more optimal way to do this. But if 80% of the effort gets us 99% of the way to optimum, maybe it's okay to make the decision and not do 100% effort. I think we make that decision in our lives on a regular basis, you know? You could almost always put a little bit more care into everything. Mostly it's, you know, when you're working on like a school assignment or a project at work or a responsibility at work, how much care do you put into it? I think the honest answer is probably as much as the time available allows you to. I'm rambling at this point. Anyway, that's my philosophy. That's my philosophy. Not Bobby Brown reference. Britney Spears reference. Yas Queen Slay. You know what must be weird about being... Maybe they don't even care. But what must be weird about being like a regular celebrity is the existence of like these stan accounts. Are you familiar? And maybe, I feel like I'm talking to like fellow 50-year-olds, middle-aged adults when I say this. A stan account is on Twitter. There's a few different kinds of people on Twitter. There's people with anime avatars, and they yell at me for making mistakes in Isaac, and that's fine. I respect that. You do you. There's people that usually have like an American flag in their name, and then they yell at Nick for having the political opinions that he does. There's people, anytime I see someone with a real headshot, I'm like, man, I bet you work in the tech industry. And it's like 80% accurate. But there's also people who dedicate their online social media presence to glorifying the image of a specific celebrity. You see it a ton for K-pop stars. And I'm not saying like all kids these days, because again, you know, you can go back... I don't know about my generation. I'm sure there's examples, but I might just be blind to them because I grew up in it. But, you know, my mom had posters of, like, you know, Leif Garrett on her wall, I'm sure, when she was growing up, and I don't want to think about it any more than that. It's just like the next logical step, I guess, in an era of social media. That, of course, this will be where you spend, you know, some time on social media. If you're, like, 16, you got nothing better to do. 14, you got nothing better to do. 25, maybe get something better to do. But anyway, I'm not judging you. I'm giving my opinion, okay? Which could be construed as a judgment, I suppose. But what's weird, though, I think about it from the celebrity's perspective, because I am a celebrity myself. I'm very important and influential. And I just worry, because I have the occasional quote-unquote stan account, but for the most part, they either just, you know, they post quotes of mine, which is cool, because I read them and I go, ah, that's pretty funny. Thank you for filtering through the 55-minute video to get to the distilled one-liner that's actually entertaining. It's like marketing for me, and I appreciate it. And I'm glad, I hope you're having fun doing it as well. And then, like, there's other accounts, and, you know, this is cool, but also frustrating to some extent that somebody would dedicate their, social media presence to be like, here's some tips from the comments that I'm gonna pass to you on Twitter. Like, I get you feel like you're doing a public service, but to me it feels like my safe little bubble is being violated a bit, but I'll get over it. It's nice you sign on to Twitter and you're like, hey, just so you know, dark orbs target low HP individuals and slay the spire, and I'm like, yeah, I know, I must have just forgotten it once, but thanks for reminding me. But for like real celebrities, it gets so much crazier. Like, I saw there was a K-pop stan account that was one of those, like, in case you missed it, here's a tweet from someone you don't follow tweeting about something you don't care about, as this share price tumbles deeper and deeper. But it was like a K-pop star, and I don't know who it was, but they were doing their laundry, and the tweet was like, oh my god, look at this. Their name is actually doing their laundry. It's precious. And I'm like, what do you mean it's precious? It's like, his clothes are dirty. I don't understand. Is it like he's so down to earth he's doing his laundry? Or is it like he's wearing a cute outfit when he does his laundry? By the way, this is not... If you're listening to me and you're going, yeah, you know, young girls, so stupid, care about these boy bands. People are doing it with K-pop, you know, like female idols as well, no question. Except it's a little, it takes on an air of, instead of like, I want to marry that person, it's like, I want to, you know, I don't even need to finish the sentence there. It's very strange to me to be like, yeah, that's what I want my social media presence to be like online. But anyway, you know, you do you, again, you know, except for weird in the Christ out of some other person that probably doesn't even check their own social media profile. But anyway, I just don't get it, man. I'm mostly like, I do my own laundry. If somebody, and it's not jealousy at all. You know, there's things to be, I guess, jealous about. If you look at a K-pop superstar, what is there to be jealous about? Talented. Even if I don't like their music, you got to admit, you know, amazing dancers, talented singers. Fame, I'm not really jealous of fame. Wealth, yeah, I guess, you know. I mean, I don't go to sleep at night being like, oh, I wish I was a K-pop superstar, you know, but they're obviously, you know, they probably tend to be a lot wealthier than I am. Young, handsome, yeah, of course, you know, they got a lot of things going for them. But I'm not jealous about the fact that they have, like, a social media mob that is, like, patronizing them for doing a simple chore. I guess. Maybe I'm missing out on maybe, Dad, you're old. Okay, but, I mean, I did live in Korea for, like, a year. I'm not sure if that makes it so I understand more, but I think I at least have, like, an idea of what's going on. It doesn't really matter what we take here. We're gonna win easily. But, you know, if I got a tweet that was like, oh my god, it's NL and he's on the bus, isn't that crazy? I would be like, I'm gonna be honest with you, I'd probably mute you. Because I would be like, first off, you know, it's kind of weird to just snap a photo of me in public and not say hi. I mean, you can ask for permission to take a photo. That's just like a common courtesy. I'm literally never going to say no, because the blowback from me being like, sorry, I don't do photos, would be like 10 times worse than just taking a photo where I look like, you know, that candid shot of Nicolas Cage on a plane where he's like clearly extraordinarily hungover. Anyway. Or maybe he's just old. Like, he might not be hungover. That's not being rude. I mean, he looks like disheveled in the photo, but he is also like in his 60s or late 50s at least. So, anyway, I wouldn't report it to the police, but I would be like, you know, hey, I'm just doing like what normal people do. There's no need to patronize me. Instead, we have like the opposite. And I kind of prefer it this way because it's not as coddling. But what do I mean by the opposite? You know, I'll do like 90 minutes of meal prep and then I'll get 100 messages that are like, why didn't you use, you know, real garlic instead of garlic powder? And that's obviously a hypothetical because I do use real garlic. Because I respect myself. But, you know, I prefer it that way. It keeps you intellectually honest, you know. When you get asked for clarification questions, I guess the thing about being backseated in real life is that even though it's annoying sometimes, it has done a good job of cementing like my personality at an age where I think, you know, a lot of people, and I'm still figuring myself out obviously, but I got a pretty good idea of who I am. And I think part of the reason for that is because every single belief I ever have gets questioned by like 2,500 people minimum in Twitch chat. So, oh, dude, I mean, absolutely. And at this point, why don't we just go for broke and possibly ruin our run by becoming Mega Satan, but it'll be fun. Not Mega Satan, sorry, Dark Judas. You know, again, as frustrating as it could sometimes be, it's also, it forces you, it's like defending your dissertation or your thesis a couple of times a month. So, you know, it makes it... I actually really like this about Twitch. I'm not being facetious in the least. It's very hard to hold an incredibly ignorant belief if you stream a lot. Now, I'm not saying that streamers are particularly enlightened. All I'm saying is if you have a good opinion, you're probably going to get called out for it. Because, you know, there are people everywhere, but also in Twitch chat, that will take everything to its most, like, they'll take it as out of context as possible to make it sound terrible. I'll be like, well, you know, I don't think you should have a driver's license if you can't drive safely. And they're like, well, what if their wife's in the hospital and they're pregnant and also their dad hit them when they were younger? And I'm, okay, you got it. I was talking about that, like, true crime show, Inside the Mind of a Killer or whatever, or I Am a Killer, that's it. And I was like, man, some of these people are Some of these people encountered bad circumstances and did not react to them well. Some of these people are legitimately evil. Well, they're not evil people. Their childhoods made them evil. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, I know. But, like, simultaneously, they're evil now. Like, they're not... I don't know what you do at that point. It's like, you're like, well, you did murder those people and admit to it and then admit to keeping the body parts. But simultaneously, you know, I know things were rough for you growing up. So, 6 months probation. Anyway. So even if you have, like, a relatively sensible opinion, it's subject to scrutiny. But if you have, like, a truly awful opinion, it gets spotlighted, and you're going to have to defend it. So you either have to have an unbelievable amount of conviction in your terrible opinion, or your opinion's got to get better, you know? That's what it's like. And it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing. Well, obviously, like, I'm not going to fight Hush on this run, so we'll just head down. And it's good, you know, what, and I would definitely count myself in this camp, you know. I have an okay amount of life experience, but for the past, like, you know, 6 years, I've pretty much been absent the regular life of your average, you know, mid to late 20s individual, you know. I haven't been working my way up the corporate ladder. Unlike most people... Because I think a lot of Twitch streamers are like, it's sick, dude, I don't have to wear a tie to the office. For me, I'm like, constantly, you know, and things are going great, admittedly, but like, I'm constantly still plagued by these thoughts of like, well, what if Twitch evaporates over the course of the next couple of years? I'm going to be at a permanent disadvantage to my peers due to my relative lack of conventional work experience. And like, a lot of people then go, well, yeah, but you got experience running your own business and quote unquote, and I'm like, yeah, but like, I don't know if that's really gonna play out in the hiring scenario. Anyway, my anxieties are not necessarily relevant here. All I'm trying to say is it's good, because Twitch streamers, they tend to be a little bit in a bubble. Where they're like, man, the unthinkable happened today. And you're like, well, what happened? Like, is somebody sick? Is everything okay? And they're like, yeah, but somebody said you have a stinky butt in my chat. And you're like, oh, dude, just get over it, man. It's okay. Yeah, you just get over it, lol, forehead, but you know what I mean. So I think it's good that, you know, to counteract a little bit of that biblical nature, you know, you got, people in chat who were like, please explain in an essay why you use cumin instead of paprika to make your goulash. Because I like it more. Are you not aware that in Hungary and historically before that, the seat of the Magyar Empire, paprika is endemic and is considered a necessary spice? The rune of the cows. That was easy. The tank is terrible, right? We're all beamed up, is that... No, we're just very slow. We're only going to mom, so this seems sensible. We have 0.25 speed. Why would I ever choose this to do a second challenge of? Well, thank you for not spawning in the worst location. This is terrible for a number of reasons. This might be the worst room for us to fight right now, to be honest with you. Hounds ever. If we get 9 lives, it gets even worse because we can't even justify taking it because, you know, we have 8 HP right now. This is a real bad start. But there is stuff to like. Again, we start with 8 HP containers, dude. 0.25 speed. You can't outrun any enemies. If an enemy comes at you, you have no recourse whatsoever. What can you do? Kill them with your 10 rate of fire, 3.25 damage before they get to you. Yeah, okay, good luck. I don't even want to go into the cursed room yet because reasonable chance the cursed room. Oh, these are fast enemies. Reasonable chance I was going to say the cursed room could have enemies in it that chase you down and are also invisible and annoying. So why do this room? Well, I want to maximize our use of the Yum Heart, unfortunately. I would also love to get, like, a black market. So I'm going to step on as many of these as I can stomach before my brain says, please stop, I can't take any more, like, gardening, basically, here. You know, we're tending to our run at this point, and it's a real pain in the butt. Okay, I beg you, sir, please. I do kind of want to try the curse room now. Maybe get some spirit hearts. Use the spirit hearts to, well, I still don't think we'd have a good chance to deal with the devil. I had to look at that because I was like, man, if it's a speed downgrade, we have to be at some kind of tier minimum. An orbital is actually a huge get for us. Because our damage, I mean, as you can tell, is only okay. Our ability to kill enemies will go up as a result of having this orbital. Obviously. And we have the kind of HP stack where we can... there we go, finally shoot straight again. We have the kind of HP stack where we can afford to be hit to use our orbital. Plus, if I don't use it, I will go insane from our incredible lack of anything on this run right now. But I don't necessarily think the tank is a particularly, you know, difficult run, all things considered. We just really, really, really want to get like 2 speed upgrades to take us up to a certain minimum. Yo, Infamy, thank you. The rest of that was my own fault. Thank you to Infamy. Thank you for being a friend. Okay. 2.5, or sorry, not 2.5. Don't be ridiculous. 0.25 speed. Extremely terrible. But we can still use our orbital with it as long as we're not stupid about it. Man, it's a terrible get. Just needed a spirit heart and we would have had a great chance of getting our deal with the devil. This time I don't really care about getting the perfect use of Yum Heart because we're doing okay. Hey! Book of Sin. How to jump. Telepathy for dummies. We at least get Bookworm. I think you still stick with Yum Heart because if you don't, you're going to die. But also, I really wanted that to be the shop so we could have a great chance to get a deal with the devil. But here's our shop. So just don't get hit on this room. Hope for a key drop. That's our loop right now. Wow. I really didn't expect it to be so smooth. 'Cause you're just like the ocean under the moon. I would love a spirit heart so I can get brimstone. That's right. I call it brimstone. It's a Utica phrase. Please. Oh! Give me your heart, make it real. Now that's talking about him. So, why Buddy in a box? We're not in a position to be, you know, too picky about any DPS improvements. So, like, if we'd gotten any item in that field, we were taking it. Pokego, Champion Belt. Literally anything that does damage. So we can possibly kill some enemies before they rush us down. Top tier deal with the devil upgrades. Ability to fly. It's not a great enemy to fight when you're low on speed, but... on the bright side... never mind, it was very easy. I was gonna say on the bright side, we're never gonna walk on the creep. So we do not care about Death's List. Take Pentagram instead, head down, and I mean, we got certain something going on here at the very least. Still 0.25 speed, but, you know, Pentagram has... oh, that is a very interesting buddy in a box. So we get no more spacebar items, which is okay. Shouldn't have taken damage there, but we also... I mean, I've kind of come to accept that on this run, you know, we don't need to worry about finessing it all that much. I'm not overly concerned about, like, you know, will we or won't we have maximum HP when we die. I'm very concerned about just living in general, and, you know, that's going to get harder and harder as time goes on. I'm hoping... oh my god, this is the greatest buddy in a box you could ever ask for. So much free HP. I'm really hoping we get... like 2 speed upgrades. If we can get to like 0.7 speed, I will be over the moon. We can win this run with our current setup and 0.7 speed. We might be able to win it with 0.25 speed. I would just really rather, you know, I wouldn't wish that fate on, like, my worst enemy. Who's my worst enemy? Adolf Hitler. Why, who's your worst enemy? Oh, like a bully from middle school. Okay. Sorry, I didn't realize. I guess I'm selfless and, you know, you do you. I picked one of history's greatest monsters to be my worst enemy, but yeah, okay, this kid that got spanked by his dad and then takes out his aggression on you, I suppose he's your worst enemy. It's alright, you know, it's just not everybody puts other people ahead of themselves. I guess it's just something that, you know, like a saint like me does. I ain't never seen a saint like that. I don't really want there's options. I know, by the way, I understand the value of there's options, don't get me wrong. What's the value of there's options? Is extremely easy to understand. It gives us a much better chance of getting a speed upgrade. Because we can choose what we get from the boss. Well, we can choose of 2 items we get from the boss. If you think I'm not going to Emperor card, by the way, on the next floor, you are insane. That's like a plus 3,000 speed upgrade. Temporarily, but still. We basically get to complete 7 rooms, or, you know, maybe 20 rooms simultaneously. Consecutively, instantly, whatever word you want to use for it. Oh, thank God. He was deviating. This is real dangerous. You know, we're doing fine, obviously, but we can't really dodge this guy with 0.25 speed. We're also not going to get a speed upgrade from him, clearly. We did get a spirit heart. That's nice. So this one's looking like it's going to go just fine, but it doesn't make it not a pain in the butt. I really thought we could make it. Alright. Raw Mega. I guess to some extent, like, I mean, this is a hard fight for us right now with no bombs. But we made it work just by accepting we were probably going to take some damage. That's a Tears upgrade, so... And a Bone Heart, actually, which is real nice. And this is not Krampus, which is even better. I gotta look for some kind of, like, damage upgrade. Speed upgrade, etc., etc. Yo, the payouts are absurd. Yo, the payouts are absurd. We got 3, I mean, not amazing, but 3 deal with the devil items in, like, the closest succession I ever would have expected there. Okay, where to? To the left, to the left. I don't know the song, but I know the reference. So what do I like right now? Well, baby that does pills. I like it a lot. Acid. Baby! I compare you to a poisonous AoE. Ooh, the more you I get, the greater our speed could be. When you're right, you're right. Now that our baby drops pills, we should get kills on the deeps. There is so much a run could screw you with, you know it's true. I can stop there. Except my power, my range up, my speed up, my tears, baby. To you I'm like a wizard that shoots 45 degrees. Oh, won't you tell me, is that zany, babe? I actually got up in this dude's face and was like, you know what? Go ahead. You want to blow me up? Go ahead. Buttercup baby just to let me down. Freaking mess me around. Oh, we got hit. Apart from that, though, some of the best dodging, no joke, I've done in my entire existence. Oh, hey, we can shoot straight again. The more I get at you, the straighter I shoot. Yeah. It worked, dude. It's got like the perfect amount of syllables for every sentence I say, I guess. For every sentence I say. Dude, it works. I gotta tell you, it works every time. I'm not even trying, babe. Shouldn't have done that yet. But I mean, you know the deal at this point. We basically walk up to the boss, and we use our orbital to hit him. And if he takes our bone heart, then he takes our bone heart. I don't really mind. Alright, we are down to our final floor on this very, very slow challenge. Please? Whoa, we got like Galaxy Brain Baby too. Well, this will not be the right path. Could we go to the shop? Yes. Do we care? No! Are you... Please, why? I don't care about going to the freaking shop here. I want this run to be done as soon as possible. It's not laziness. We have 0.25 speed. Get me out of this run and give me the useless rune that is likely to be derived from its completion. And we gotta get right up in there. More bombs, please. More bombs. Wow, we only have one more room to go before we have the boss. It's actually like a very easy mom fight because of the orbital. Pill? Pill. Question marks. Maybe we'll wait on that one for a minute. We can sack as many hearts as we would like here, just to make sure we're always putting some damage on the boss. Easiest money ever made. Take me out. 2 good challenge runs here. We got the Rune of Ansus. Not a bad rune. Diluting the pool, but we're getting them all anyway. Thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed the episode. If you did, click the like button. It was a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching. I will see you next time. See ya. Follow me on Twitch for live content. Twitch.tv/Northernlion. I'll see you next time.